Chapter 10, My Bad. I'm thankful that I never had any really serious confrontations with anyone in all those years of asset recovery. I know I just told you two stories. They could have been serious, but being nice goes a long way. I never had a fight. Trying to be nice to people and treating them with respect, it helps a lot. I was careful and polite to the debtors, and being nice served me very well. That "I'm sorry, but I got to take the vehicle" worked every time. It always calmed the situation down and eased the tension. The only time I ever got hit was in Guntersville, Alabama. I had a family security account on a lady who worked at the Walmart in Guntersville. Now, this Walmart was on Highway 431 at the top of the mountain just south of Lake Guntersville. I think they've since moved, but at the time, the Walmart was there, and she worked there. It was the Ford Expedition, and one morning I found it in the parking lot of the Walmart. The debtor was working that day. I picked the car up, and I pulled it out into the parking lot, down toward the end of the parking lot, and I stopped. I hooked it up. I put the tow lights on it, and I should have just left then. But here I go again, trying to be Mr. Nice Guy. I called the Walmart and I talked to the debtor, and I told her that I had come to get her car and had in fact already picked it up, and she was welcome to come get her property and give me the keys. Well, I didn't think much about it, but I was still on private property, and the expedition was not legally repoed because I was still on Walmart property in the Walmart parking lot. So the lady comes out and she wants her car back. And let me say this, she was nice. She was a very nice lady, and she was nice, but she was firm. She wanted her car back. Now, I'm nice, but I'm firm too, and she ain't getting that car back. I realized my mistake in not moving the vehicle off of private property, but it was too late to worry about it now. I had the vehicle on the lift, and she kept trying to get into it. I'd stand in front of the door, the driver's door, and she'd try to get in, and then she'd try to get in the back door. Well, I'd step over, get in front of the back door, and wouldn't let her in there, and I'd step back to we went back and forth, and finally, in exasperation, she hit me in the chest. She was mad, and that didn't hurt. I mean, and I didn't think anything of it, and it didn't change the fact that, lady, I'm taking this car. And the car was not yet legally mine, but again, I'm bluffing. I'm being nice, but I'm bluffing. Then the police show up. Well, there goes that repo. I don't know who called, but they showed up, and one of them comes over and he gives me that famous police line that they always tell the repo man. "You know I can't let you take that car now, right?" "Yes, I know." But then it dawned on me. That lady had hit me. And if she doesn't let me take this car, I'm going to have her arrested for assault and battery. That sounded good to me. And I told her, I said, "If you don't let me take this car, I'm going to press charges because you hit me." Well, that got her attention. Now she's really upset. She calls her husband. She's crying. I mean, everything is going south real fast. And she's crying, and she's like, "Oh, he's going to have me arrested for hitting him." And she's talking to her husband, and the policeman, they're standing there. And I tapped the lady on the shoulder. You know, I decided, man, this repo is over. The police have showed up. She's sobbing on the phone to her husband, telling him to come bail her out of jail. And I tapped her on the shoulder and I said, "Look, I'm not going to have you arrested." She turned around to me and looked, and I mean, with tears in her eyes, I said, "Look, I'm not going to have you arrested. It's just part of the game." And so I let the car down. I unhooked the car, and I left the car with her. She was happy. I was fairly happy. My mistake there was not getting the vehicle off Walmart property before I called her. And I usually don't make that mistake, but she paid her account later that day, and so I got the close fee for it because evidently she realized that the finance company meant business. They were going to come get that car if she didn't pay it. But that was my mistake. And I know, again, and if you're watching this or listening to this and you work for a repo company or you're thinking about going to work for a repo company, most of them are going to tell you hook and book. Take the vehicle and get on out of there. Don't talk to the debtor. And look, that's probably the best way to do it. But I try to be nice, and I try to be nice where I can. And most of the time it turned out pretty good. So anyway, that was my bad though. That was my mistake. But it worked out good.